So, Rolo, I want to talk to you about two things that happened, and I don't know what this entails. But in 2006, you received the Silver Star from Ada County. In 2017, you received the Distinguished Service Medal. So, can you tell me what those are and why you received them?
Um, the first one was the Silver Star.
Yeah.
So the Silver Star that's when I was on the uh, Metro Gang Task Force,
Okay.
and the Metro Gang Task Force is actually it's funded by the FBI, and so they basically this task force they take like one person from each agency in the valley, and they put us all working out of one office, and our main goal at the time was to go after violent offenders and gang members. And so we were not the traditional detectives, but we were kind of like the street crimes unit. We're kind of like detectives on patrol kind of thing.
Mm.
And we would help other agencies if like Nampa PD or Caldwell or Boise, if they had a gang related shooting or violent crime, they would call us a lot of times and we would respond just kind of as extra bodies and would say, hey, where can we help you out? Sometimes it was just like, hey, we're securing this crime scene, but our suspect is out on the loose and this is who our suspect is. Can you guys go assist patrol in trying to find him?
Hmm.
You know, and so we'd go out and try to locate.
So was that Silver Star for a specific case or?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. My mind goes all over. But yeah, so one night I was working. We would typically work until like 3 a.m. We'd get off about 3 a.m. And one day I had gone into work early. And so then I told the guys, I go, hey, since I came in early, I'm going to go home early. And I used to go work out all the time at the police academy, go to their gym. And I got home like around 10 o'clock ish. And that because I was working like a night shift, I would go hit the gym a lot of times, put the family to bed, and then I'd go hit the gym. This was one of those nights where I got home early. Everybody was already just crawling into bed. I said good night to everybody. And I'm like, I'm going to go hit the gym. So I get ready to walk out and I was like, I should grab a gun. I shouldn't. And at the time I decided I was going to take my detective car. And at the time our cars we didn't they weren't county owned cars or federal owned cars. What we would do is we would rent cars from Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And that way, if we were doing surveillance, and we get burned, we could just go and trade it out, every day to have a different car.
Yeah.
Well, I was driving a Pontiac G6 at the time. And because they were rental cars, all we had is our handheld radios. And so anyway, I get in my vehicle and I'm heading to the gym. And of course I turn on my radio and I hear armed robbery. And so I was like, well, instead of turning where I typically turn, I'll just go 1 mile over. And if I see something, I'll just call it in. Patrol will arrive and they'll take it over and I'll just turn and go back to the gym. Well, I come up to intersection at Ustick and Meridian Road, and I was facing eastbound. A car is coming towards me, see the headlights, and I think it's a stoplight now, but at the time it was a 4-way stop sign. Anyway, only 2 cars is my vehicle facing east. These guys are facing westbound. And I see the car. I was like, oh, that kind of sounds like the description. So they go past me. I flip a U-turn and I get on the radio and I'm like, hey, can you guys confirm that I go, hey, this is Metro 21. That was my call sign at the time, Metro 21. I'm like, I'm behind a vehicle that possibly fits that description. Can you guys confirm the description? Well, I have some guy who decided he has to tell me, every little detail, like how shiny the car was, right? What kind of tires it was. He was telling me about the windshield wipers, right? I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he just like held the mic, right? And just going on and on. Anyway, and I'm like, I need to get back on the radio. I'm like, I'm pretty sure these guys are it. Anyway, flip a U-turn. They turn into what is now the Fast Eddies. They're off of Ustick, kind of by Settlers Park. And they had just put the pavement down. The building wasn't even up yet. They turn in there. So I turn in behind them. They flip a U-turn. And it was like, it's kind of funny because I say it's like a movie. It really was because they flip U-turn back out and they're coming back out onto Ustick. And I'm turning into the parking lot. And we just kind of look at each other like this, right? And it was really slow. I flip another U-turn, pull in behind them. And they take off. They just hit the gas and take off at a high speed. And I right behind it. And all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, and I felt like pressure you ever been driving down a gravel road and like, a rock like this big hits the bottom of the floorboard and you kind of almost feel the pressure on your feet, and it's super loud. That's what it sounded like. All right. So my attention goes down for just a split second. And then as I look up, I realize those are gunshots. So rounds were hitting the pavement and hitting the bottom of the floorboard. And then a couple more rounds hit the front of the car. And I'm trying to get on the radio, and this guy's still on the radio. And I'm really getting pissed because he will not stop talking. So I had to switch to an admin channel, which was like the channel that usually just calling warrants and driver's license. So I switched channels, and I'm like, hey, I chasing the suspects. I got shots fired. They're firing shots at me, and we're driving down. We're going west or down.
And by the way, tell the guy to stop talking.
Yeah, I think while I was calling shots fired, he was still talking while I was saying shots fired on the channel. So anyway, so we're going westbound on USIC, and we're doing like 110, and I'm just like, he's going through the next intersection, and now just in my mind, I'm like, please don't hit another vehicle. Please don't hit another vehicle. And they're continuing to shoot at me, and I'm chasing them. And they go down to 10 Mile, and they go southbound, go past the fire station there. They toss out some guns, and there were four suspects in the vehicle. They were all gangbangers they were Norteños out of Nampa. And so what's funny at the time is the rest of our gang unit was there at our office, which is off of Garrity Boulevard there at the time. And so Scott Mace was my supervisor, FBI agent at the time. And so I get on the radio. We had the Nextel forums. Remember the old Nextel forums that were like the push to talk?
Yep.
So I get on the push to talk. I'm like, hey, I'm in a pursuit. These guys are shooting at me. They're coming your way. And people know that I like to exaggerate sometimes. Not really exaggerate. I'm kind of sarcastic. I'm very sarcastic. So sometimes people I don't know whether to believe you or not because you're always sarcastic. Kind of like crying wolf, I guess. So I'm like, I can hear all the guys in the background laughing. I'm like, no, really, go to this channel. And anyway, so they turned on the radio on the right channel, and they could hear the pursuit. And so I saw the patrol guys, all the lights were coming. So once the patrol guys got there, I let them take over the pursuit because I was actually violating policy because I didn't have lights on my car.
Yeah.
I had the little tiny visor. Light,
Yeah.
So I stopped chasing once the patrol guys got there, and they took over the pursuit. These guys continued westbound, tried to turn left onto Canada Road, and they crashed into a canal and got out and ran. And then it was close enough to our gang unit office. The guys were able to help, and they ended up capturing all four of them.
Wow.
So, and I got an award for it, but I would say like the real heroes are these guys, because knowing that I was being shot at, then I stopped chasing them. Then these guys continued to chase them after that.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting a little ribbon to wear on my uniform. So
Yeah, but you know what? That's what law enforcement does. I mean, it's about, well, most of the time, it's about running into danger.
yeah.
It's not running away.
Mhm.